Hello, my name is Mark Allen of Bellingham, Washington, and welcome to yet another Mark Allen Bicycle Bellingham video. Before I go further, we need to thank Ms. Suzanne Tepper. She was the woman who very generously donated this park bench that I'm sitting on here in beautiful Cordata Park here in Bellingham. This video is the discovery of 3 hidden jewels of Bellingham. The first one is the park we're sitting in, which is Cordata Park, extremely undiscovered and extremely private, very suitable for a quiet meditation. Next, in my mind, being 66 years old, escapes me, I believe I remember correctly, is Lotus, I can't remember which, Beach Park. Extremely undiscovered. I'll correct the name when we get there, but being 66 years old, we often have to do a Control-Alt-Delete reset of my brain. Moving along, we're going to head over to Squalicum Beach Park, an undiscovered beach close to Bellingham Technical College. Along with this video, there will be a companion website, bicyclebellingham.com, as you can see on the bottom of your screen. Also, since this is a fairly long video, I'm going to try to provide a semi-accurate index of the various points of interest and the time in which they appear in the video that you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, and I'll get out of your way. So, enjoy, but most importantly, if you see me out in the roads here in Bellingham or Whatcom County, and you should recognize me by my unusual homemade clothing. You're welcome to stop me, have a quick chat, and most importantly, ask any question about my videos or what I know about Bellingham. And of course, I know enough about Bellingham to be very dangerous and to be very entertaining. Enjoy. We're going to start off here at Cornwall Park at the intersection of Meridian and East Victor, where we left off in the last video. Let's head west on East Victor until we get to northwest. You'll be passing a school building on your left and another school building on your right before you get to this intersection with northwest. We're going to turn right here, heading north. Northwest does have a bicycle lane. It's not too bad. Traffic, very little traffic in fact. We're going to go straight to the first intersection by Jaegers on your left. Note the rainbow-colored railings of this bridge. You'll be going straight through here. That's Squalicum way down below. And you stay out of the right turn lane here. We're going to go straight through this intersection. Continuing on northwest, going past that school on your left until we get to a roundabout. Now in roundabouts, you can either use the sidewalk or stay in the main lane. It is a shared lane with cars and bicycles, and with any roundabout, you need to yield the drivers who are already in the circle. We're going to go straight through, and I am going to go ahead and use the sidewalk here to let some of the traffic that built behind me pass on by. We're going under I-5. Here's a second roundabout. We're going to do the same thing. It is clear, and we get into the bicycle lane as soon as we can. And here, at the intersection of Northwest and Bakerview, we're going to turn right, going east on Bakerview. Now, once you're heading east on Bakerview, you will watch out for the very first traffic signal intersection, which is at Eliza. You need to turn right to head north on Eliza at this intersection. Now, Eliza also has a bicycle lane, and it does have moderate traffic. You stay on Eliza until you get to Westerly. You turn right on Westerly. Once you're on Westerly going eastbound, you will see Whatcom Community College on your left, and eventually you will see the Cordata Community Food Co-op store on your right. You're going to come to a roundabout. You'll stay in the roundabout until you are headed north on Cordata. There's south on Cordata, there's continuing east on Westerly, and there's north on Cordata. You know you're going in the right direction when you see that Cordata Bus Transit Center on your right. Here is the first roundabout you come through. You're going to stay on Cordata going northbound. Traffic gets lighter as you continue to head north. Once again, we're coming to another roundabout. You stay on Cordata going northbound. Both roundabouts do offer the option to use the sidewalk if the traffic is heavy and you don't feel as confident. Now here, going northbound on Cordata, you will eventually come to a stop sign at Horton. After that stop sign, where you go straight, you need to please look carefully for the Park Trail entrance, which will be on your left. It is between two apartment complexes right there. It is very, very easy to miss. Here is a map for your reference, and here are some general photos of the area around the entrance to the park to help you find it. Now here you see a bicyclist making that left-hand turn into the path going into the park. The trails in this park are hard-packed cinder and gravel. If you have medium to large tires on your bicycle, you should do fine. If you have very narrow racing tires, you might face some challenges. The park is quite well undiscovered. It is very, very quiet and secluded. It does have interpretation and some park benches for relaxing. There are no restrooms or other facilities on this park. It is a new park which is still under development. We're going to take a little detour here to show you the entrance from Meadowbrook Avenue in Cordata. You go over a little bridge. The entrance from Meadowbrook is quite visible once you get to the large church at the end of Meadowbrook, as you should. as you will see, there is a roundabout in front of the church. And here's the entrance. It's on the south side of the roundabout. We're going to take a loop around the roundabout, and there is the church right in front of you there. We're going to go past the church on your right around the circle, and there is the entrance to the park, which we're going to go back to where we started from the main trail. There is a single trail that goes through the park, but it does have a loop around a field. We're going to take the loop, but bear in mind that the trail will go past the loop. And now we're going past that bridge. Here's the main path through the park. We're proceeding westbound now through the park, going over the footbridge, over a creek, and let's see, somewhere up here is the path to the loop, which is right here. Now, mind you, if you don't want to take the loop, you can continue to proceed on the main path. The loop has a couple of picnic tables and benches, but beyond that it is relatively undeveloped. But most important, it is extremely quiet. This is a mid-morning that I am on this path, and I only came across one person when I made this entire loop. The man walking his dog right there. So if you just want a quiet walk in solitude, this is the place to be. It is undeveloped, except for those very few amenities, and very, very quiet and pleasant. Very interesting, because it is so gradual, and there's really no sense of direction in this beautiful little park. We're gradually making a loop, and we're going to be headed back eastbound. Before you get to the Horton Street entrance to this park, which is right here, that trail on your right, by the way, does lead you to the Cordata Elementary School. We're going through the middle of this roundabout, which is the Horton Street entrance. You are now headed east on Horton Street. Eventually, this will meet up with Cordata Street, as you can see ahead. We're going to turn right on Cordata Street, headed southbound. We're going to backtrack our entire way until we get to Bakerview. On Bakerview, we're not going to turn. We're going to continue to go westbound on Bakerview. This can get quite busy. You may want to walk this intersection if you don't feel confident with the traffic. We're going to continue to go westbound in Bakerview. You'll be passing the Costco store on your right, and you'll be eventually going over I-5. This can be a bit intimidating. You can use the sidewalks and cross the pedestrian signals. Here we're going over I-5. Now that is a right turn only lane. What I try to do is let cars pass and then go back and occupy the rightmost straight through lane as we're going to continue to go westbound on Bakerview.
where we'll be coming up to two tricky intersections. The first one is Maplewood, which is right here. You may want to walk this again with pedestrian signals. Once you cross this, the second one is Barnett. Once we pass the storage place, this is the intersection of Barnett. The street we're on, which is Bakerview, will turn into Airport Way as we continue straight. This is narrow bicycle lanes, only 2 lanes, but traffic is fairly light. There is the runway to the airport on your right. Of course, you pass that. There is the signal tower on your right as well. You stay on airport until you get to Marine Drive. On Marine Drive, you'll be turning left to go south on Marine Drive with that left arrow. Now, once we're on Marine Drive, the first stop we're going to make is coming up fairly quickly, and that's at the Squalicum Overlook, which is right here. It's a very simple park. It does not have beach access. It's important to know that, but it's a great place for a quiet view of Bellingham Bay. Here's a few general shots of the Squalicum Overlook. There are some picnic tables, limited facilities here, and there are some footpaths. Here are some shots of the bay as you see it from the overlook. Now, there's a path that goes down too, but you do not cross those railroad tracks. There is no beach access. Now let's continue south on Marine Drive. Our next stop will be Locust Street Park, Beach Park, Locust Beach Park. This is very tricky to find. I will try to help you, but you need to look on your left for Locust Street. You'll see a railing on your left. That's your first hint. And the second hint is the stone wall on your right. That is the road that goes to Locust Beach. Let's try some general shots. You see a stone wall on your left. There is the sign. Very small and very, very easy to miss. You might consider using that metal-sided building as a guidance. That sign will be on your left. You will turn right here. Again, right after that little stone wall. That railing that you pass on your left is a good warning sign that you are coming to this intersection and heading down that street, which is Locust Street, to the beach. This is extremely undeveloped. No facilities at all. Not handicapped accessible. And as far as I know, there is no budget for continuing development of this beach. They do provide a small parking lot, and there is some limited information right there on that sign to your right. Let's continue down the road. It will become a steep hill once you go under the Burlington Northern Railroad tracks. Yes, there is an underpass to the tracks. Again, I need to emphasize this is not developed at all. You'll be passing that wall to your right, and there is the underpass. Please do not take that beaten path on your right and go on the tracks. This is a highly active main line for Burlington Northern going up to Canada. There is a trail to your right. If you go past that stone, you'll be gone too far. The trail is narrow. It is not suitable for any bicycles except for maybe mountain bicycles. I am now walking my bicycle down that trail. It is quite secluded. There is very, very limited interpretation and signage. The only real sign you're going to see is that warning sign to your right. There is private property on both sides. Let's continue walking down this path, and you're going to come to some steps. I need to warn you, there is no handrail on the steps, and there's no signage. As I said, this is not developed at all. Here we're coming to the head of the steps. They are steep and narrow. As you can see, I'm taking it very, very slowly. And by the way, this film is at double the rate of speed. I almost got in trouble here. A hiker with 2 dogs that were not leashed came up to me from behind, and his dogs almost knocked me over. So you need to be careful. This is not developed. Apparently it is off-leash area, so be careful of animals. Now we're coming to Locust Beach. As you can see, it is not developed at all, but it is a beautiful little beach. We're going to try to do some general shots here, looking out to the bay from where you get off of the trail. If you look carefully to your south, you can see towards downtown Bellingham and beyond. Actually, downtown is to your left beyond that hill. You're looking, if you look carefully, at Boulevard Park, then Fairhaven. The red buildings are Fairhaven. The white buildings are the shipyard, and then you continue on to the point into Chuckanut Bay. Here we're looking at Lummi Point, to where it meets the mainland. As you can see, very pristine, very quiet, and completely undeveloped. Now for the long, hard trek up the stairs. It's approximately a 75-foot vertical climb. Again, you can see the stairs have no railing. Now I've got to somehow navigate this puddle without getting wet to continue my way on to this, back on the road back to Marine Drive. Now on Marine Drive, we're going to turn right to continue to go southbound. Our next stop is Squalicum Beach Park, another one that is tricky to find. You can continue down this gradual hill on Marine Drive. You get some wonderful panoramic views. What you need to look out for here on Marine Drive, you're going to come to a bridge. You're going to go past that cement plant, and there will be a bridge that you'll be crossing. Once you go over that bridge, and there's a map for your reference, you will need to get into the lane. You're going to turn left right after that bridge. The road you're looking for is Lindbergh Avenue, right after this overpass. And by the way, you're going over the trail that you will be going on. So you turn left right here and immediately turn left again. There is the entrance to the path going into Squalicum Beach. This is a little bit more developed, but it is not very easily accessible to handicap, and there are no facilities at all. That is, no restrooms, no picnic table, no nothing. A simple, undeveloped beach. We just went under Marine Drive. What we're coming to here is the railroad overpass, and once again, please do not try to climb up onto that overpass. That is a very busy main line for Burlington Northern going up to Canada. There is the beach in front of you, and there is the Tilbury Pier right in front of you. And now let's see what we can see. Looking south, we are looking in toward downtown Bellingham and Western Washington University. And continuing up the point, you could see Boulevard Park and Fairhaven. Now, I want to remind you, Tilbury Pier is not open to the public. There are some very, very tentative plans to opening that pier. By the way, there's a view through the struts of the overpass, and here is a view through the lock gate to the surface of Tilbury Pier. Now, to make our way back to Northwest, you're going to take the trail that's on the top side of the beach, not the trail you came in on. This is a trail right at the entrance to the Tilbury Pier, and this gives you a continuous access on trail all the way back to Northwest Avenue. It is quite obvious with this trail. The other trail on the south side would take you to Bellingham Technical College. We're going to return to Northwest, which will eventually take us back to East Victor and on home. So that's pretty much it. I want to thank you for coming along with me, and I will hope to see you either in person or on my next video, whatever that may be. If you see a most colorful bicycle rider with funny homemade clothing, that is me. Have a lovely bicycle ride.